numbers to focus on.
Hmm.
Are we live?
We are live,
All
yes.
right.
You can finish
So,
that thought if you want, but we are live.
um,
Yeah,
in answer
cliffhanger.
to the question that happened before we went live, or the statement rather, if you're gonna focus on any numbers based on Sefer Yetzirah, I
Mhm.
would focus on 3, 7, and 12.
That's what I've gathered, and I've heard you say those numbers before.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Those,
in
those
answer
are
to the
important.
question that happened before we went live,
yeah.
or the statement rather, if you're gonna focus on any numbers based on
I'm
Sefer
hearing a
Yetzirah,
replay.
I
Oh,
can
sorry. There you go.
That's all right.
I
I
can
was
get past echoes.
And
right.
obviously, if you take 3, 7, and 12 and you add them together, you get 22.
Ah,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
right.
And so that's the 22 paths on the tree of life.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
This stuff gets tricksy, man. And
It
Yeah.
seems like it.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I like this
different-
chapter because of all that kind of stuff.
yeah, there's a lot of interpretations, a lot of places that you can take this. So,
Yes.
okay, but we are live. So welcome
Yes.
everyone to the live stream, and everyone that is not here yet. If you're watching this on replay, thanks for watching it. It's been a while, been like a month or more actually.
Yeah.
And we were just like honoring the holidays. Hope everybody had a great holiday season, and saw your people, did your things or not, whatever you do. If you just stayed at home, like I hope you enjoyed it. So we are in 2026 now, everyone. So congratulations for everyone that made it to 2026, I guess.
You made it.
Woohoo.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good year. So
The year of the fire horse.
yes, the year, but that doesn't start until February 16th, I believe, technically.
Okay.
Yeah, in the actual Chinese zodiac. So we are still in the year of the snake, shedding skins and doing the things that snakes symbolize. Or I forget what element of snake that it is, but
It was a wood snake.
a wood snake. Okay.
Wood
I
snake.
The
don't
wood
know.
snake was last year.
Okay, yeah. So we're still technically in the final cycle of it, the final like arch before we get into the year of the horse, the fire horse. That's so
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah,
But February 16th, that is the year of when the fire horse begins. So
You're gonna see a lot of arguments. You're gonna see a lot more road rage this year.
No, you're not.
why are you
That's a joke.
Okay, yeah,
See,
that's-
it's a joke. It's a
What's up,
joke.
no,
Quantum
I
Jacks?
got that right away. I got that. Yeah, you're gonna see arguments, a lot of macho-ness kind of thing, but you're also gonna see a lot of people like starting things off, a lot of new leadership things. Last year, a lot of things came to a close. You pretty much just like wood and fire, like everything kind of turned to ash, kind of thing. It's like now the phoenix of new beginnings is starting, kind of thing. So I would say this for the start of the year of the fire horse, I would say get incorporated with like AI, honestly. If you want to start something new or start a business, start a new hobby, this is the definite year that it will definitely stick to you, in my opinion.
Okay, well, we'll see. Every year is a good year to start maybe something new. I don't know. Do what you want, people. Like numerology, astrology, all the things are maps, are tools that can be used, but ultimately we are free to do whatever the hell we want. So, but I appreciate that, and I do respect the patterns and the things that lay down the maps and tell us like what energies are going to be supportive of what we want to pursue in a year. So,
I like to
but
start
yeah.
on April Fool's Day. That's my day.
What?
April Fool's Day is the best time for me to start something new, truly.
Okay. Well, good. To each their own. So, all right. Well, let's get started. So we are here for chapter 25, continuing in this very long book, which I still don't know if we'll go through all the chapters. We might as well. But Secret Teachings of All the Ages, or of All Ages, by Manly P. Hall, with the chapter 25, the Qabbalah and the Secret Doctrine of Israel. Not and the Secret Doctrine of Israel, but the Secret Doctrine of Israel. For those that are interested in magic, or deeper
Mm.
into the occult knowledge and understanding, this video is probably for you. I have heard, well, for anybody that's interested in like ceremonial magic, whatever branch, whatever direction you've taken that, this is essentially like, would you guys agree that it's a source of all of that? The
I would.
source of all of
But
that? Yeah.
but this chapter, this whole book.
The Kabbalah, like not this book specifically, but like the Kabbalah and like what we're about to read
Well,
about.
the Golden Dawn ceremonial magic stuff, which was obviously highly influential in modern ceremonial magic, was definitely heavily influenced by this stuff. I mean, William Wynne Westcott, who was one of the founders of the Golden Dawn in 1888, did his own translation of Sefer Yetzirah. So they knew about it, relied on it heavily. Many other Kabbalistic texts are also primary texts for what they were doing. So yeah, it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it is a big deal. So I hope everybody that was watching this is interested. If not, thank you for being here for whatever reason you're here for. And we will continue on. So I'll read like the first paragraph, which just talks about, it's like one giant sentence. I can't really just read the first sentence. And
It is.
yeah, it's yeah. So I'll read that, and then it'll just give a brief introduction into what the Kabbalah is based on this quote from this guy, and then we'll dive deeper into this chapter. Also, if you're following along in the book by chance, we are on page 305 in this version of the book, which is chapter 25. And if you are online reading it, which it is available for free online, I don't know what page number it will be on there. So
It is available online, and I'll be reading from the website sacredtext.com. That is sacred-text, TEXTS.com. We are going over the chapter is called The Qabbalah, the Secret Doctrine of Israel, and it says page 113 on here, but every printed book has a whole different thing. Trying to look if there's anything else here. It doesn't really
Right.
give us, just mostly by chapters. So
yeah.
it would be page 113 on sacredtext.com. The Qabbalah, the Secret Doctrine of Israel. Oh,
Yes.
Right. And
Thank
on
you.
archive.org, it would be page 331 of 633 on the PDF version of archive.org.
Cool. Thank you guys. All right. So I will read the first paragraph. So Albert Pike, quoting from Transcendental Magic, thus sums up the importance of Kabbalism as a key to Masonic esotericism. This begins the quote. One is filled with admiration on penetrating into the sanctuary of the Kabbalah, at seeing a doctrine so logical, so simple, and at the same time so absolute. The necessary union of ideas and signs, the consecration of the most fundamental realities by the primitive characters, the trinity of words, letters, and numbers, a philosophy simple as the alphabet, profound and infinite as the word, theorems more complete and luminous than those of Pythagoras, a theology summed up by counting on one's fingers, an infinite which can be held in the hollow of an infant's hand, 10 ciphers and 22 letters, a triangle, a square, and a circle. These are all the elements of the Kabbalah. These are the elementary principles of the written word, reflection of that spoken word that created the world. It created the world. There was an exclamation point at the end.
Yes.
So, yeah. So that is the big introductory paragraph that we are. Oh God, sorry, the sound was on again. Yeah, that distracted me a little bit. So, do you guys have anything to say about just like the opening paragraph at all?
No, I mean, it's Albert Pike, and of course that makes some people like poop frisbees when you say his name. So
Who is Albert Pike for those who?
he's a well-known high-ranking Mason, and there is a great deal of controversy over some letters that they claimed he wrote, and the Freemasons say that they're forgeries, and It has to do with very dark, uh, sort of, I won't say predictions, although they could be predictions, but um, conspiracy stuff, right? And you could
Mhm.
probably find out like the letters of Albert Pike, but he was a profoundly learned person, and he was very well respected in Freemasonry. So he's a notable, and that's why he's included because, of course, Manly P. Hall himself was a Freemason.
Gotcha. Yeah, he was. Cool. Thank you. Advanced Chance, did you have anything you want to say really quick before we go on?
Not really, but I did find what we were discussing earlier, what Manly P. Hall was trying to convey in this chapter, but we can hit that subject whenever. I found the information, what he was trying to explain through us through this chapter. And then
Okay.
here's
There he
Albert
is.
Pike.
There's Albert Pike.
That is Albert Pike.
Ah, that beard
Mm-hmm. And his regalia.
looks like Santa.
A lot of food crumbs in there.
Polarizing character. Polarizing character. Love him or hate him.
Yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
So yeah, this first paragraph is really him being poetic and telling you things which, if you've read it and you understand it to some degree, you'll go, yeah, I agree with what you said, but you didn't really tell me much of anything.
Yeah, not yet. Just very vague, sort
Yeah.
of enticing thing. Perhaps enticing, depends on the audience, but
Yeah.
okay. So we will kind of go on to the next part where it begins to talk about Hebrew theology being divided into the three distinct parts. The first was the law, the second was the soul of the law, and the third was the soul of the law. And then it explains that the law was taught to the children of Israel, the Mishnah, and the soul of the law was revealed. Oh, the Mishnah is the soul of the law, sorry. And that was revealed to the rabbins and teachers, but the Qabbalah, the soul of the law, was cunningly concealed, and only the highest initiates among the Jews were instructed in its secret principles. So the Qabbalah was for not the elites, but kind of the elites.
Yeah, I think that's the way it's portrayed here, and that is true to a degree, certainly when it was not public knowledge, but you had to be at least 40 years old and ideally married and stable and sane in order to study Kabbalah. That was
That makes
the
sense.
old rules.
Okay. What are the new? Well, I guess that the new rules is a free for all.
It's a bit of a free for all now, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're Jewish and you're watching this and you're like, oh my God, this is all wrong, I get it. Like this is 1927 heavily filtered version of things that you will probably look at and go, you're getting it all wrong. And like, I feel your pain. It's okay.
Yeah.
I just want to acknowledge that, like, up front, like, yeah, this is a version of a version of a version of this stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. I don't know how many Jewish followers I have. They seem to be quiet well, there's only 5 people here, so the chances are slim right now. But for those that may watch this later, I don't know, let me know in the comments maybe. Okay, so going to the next paragraph, I'll just begin to kind of read what I underlined. It talks about Moses ascending Mount Sinai 3 times, remaining in the presence of God 40 days. The first 40 days were when the tables of the written law were delivered to him. The second 40 days he received the soul of the law, and the last 40 days he was instructed by God in the mysteries of the Qabbalah, which again is the soul of the law.
Right.
Yeah. And then he concealed the first 4 books of the Pentateuch. Am I saying that right?
5 books of Moses, yes.
Yeah. The secret instructions he'd given him, he concealed them for centuries. And students of Kabbalism have sought therein the secret doctrine of Israel. And then it says, as the spiritual nature of man is concealed in his physical body, so the unwritten law, or the Mishnah and the Qabbalah, is concealed within the written teachings of the Mosaic Code.
Right.
What is the Mosaic Code?
The code of Moses.
Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay.
Right. Not tile work.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hopefully, obviously. Loy Divine, which first of all, hello, thank you for being here. They're asking what book is that? It's a translation from French? I don't think so. This is The Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly P. Hall. In the chat, we are in chapter 25, which is the Qabbalah, the Secret Doctrine of Israel.
Yeah.
So
That reminds me, I need to get into the chat.
oh yeah. Join the chat. There's a couple people here,
Hello.
Quantum Jackson, Lloyd Divine. So, and yeah. All right, flipping the page. So apparently Kabbalah means receiving.
Right.
What Friar just informed us of before we began this. And in the book, it's saying that Kabbalah means the secret or hidden tradition and the unwritten law.
It kind of, I mean, it can mean that, but like in terms of like the first word that most rabbis would tell you, they'd say receiving. And it also means tradition. So yeah. Sorry.
Okay. And then Lloyd Divine is saying, but the book isn't from Israel, though, transmission rather. The Kabbalah is, but this book is not.
Right.
So the book that we are reading from is not from Israel, but it is the chapter on the Kabbalah, which is from Israel. That answers your question.
Which basically, I'm going to interject real quick. Two things.
Yeah.
We already hit the number 40 and 5, which 40 is equivalent to testing and transformation, and 5 is more about grace, favor, and redemption.
Right. 40. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
40 is you'll see 40 over and over again. 40 days and 40 nights. 40 is a typical period for an alchemical work. Like you might do a thing for 40 days and 40 nights. There's also ascending Mount Sinai 3 times. Don't skip that one either. That means something.
Yeah.
Are we is the total of the multiples of 3 significant? Like 9?
There's the earth plane, and then there's 3 additional spiritual planes above that. So that could very well be a hint. And this happens all through these texts.
Yeah.
Like if it's like, and God said, and it says that 10 times, you have to look and see, and you'll notice that the word for God in each of those times is a different word. So it's a reference to the 10 Sephirot, and like this happens constantly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Great Flood, 40 days. Moses spent 40 days on Mount Sinai.
Right.
Israelites wandered wilderness for 40 years. A ritual bath requires 40 Sarah, measure of water. In the Qabbalah, 40 connects to the 40 connects to the 4 directions of the world. 40 days for an embryo to form.
You've also got the 4 worlds, right? The 4 planes, the 4 elements, if you will, in some cases, plus the 10 Sephirot, right? So that's 40.
Yeah, so
10 Sephirot per world.
Okay.
Yeah, and 40 just basically marks a transition of deeper wisdom. Yeah, and then like there's 40 days of Lent. Just a couple more things. 40 days of Lent. After Jesus was resurrected, he ascended to heaven 40 days after his resurrection. 40 days, 40 nights. Yeah.
It's generally a period of transformation.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So not even on to page 2, and lots of
well, I told you I did a lot of gematria stuff on this chapter because like I said, it was like just Hebrew Linux. I was pretty much reading this thing, which I understand why Friar was telling him to like stick to 3, 7, and 12, but I just kept seeing 22, 70, 72, and it's like it started making more sense that I never really came across in my gematria travel. And I was like, that makes me want to recategorize everything I've been saving up for and like looking at it again. So that's where mostly I'll be chiming in on at. But
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Sweet.
and in one last thing. Hall was just basically trying to explain the Kabbalah as an esoteric key to universal wisdom. That's pretty much the whole summary of this chapter of it. It's all he's trying to point out.
Yeah. It's like the Bible, but not.
It's like the
Um,
Bible, but not.
yeah.
And so this chapter is a chapter about a book
Mhm.
called Sefer Yetzirah, the Book of Formation. And so there's this relatively short intro, and then the rest of the chapter is just reading Sefer Yetzirah, their version of Sefer Yetzirah.
Yeah. So we'll kind of go a little bit. Well, not, we'll go through this first part and then spend most of the time on the Sefer Yetzirah. I do want to acknowledge the picture that they have on page 306, if we can pull that up, maybe. It is the 72 names of God, which, again,
Yeah.
going back to Ceremonial Magick, and even Gallery of Magic,
Yes.
like the 72 angels of magic. Is that the name of the book? I think so. Yeah. And the 72, there's the 72 demons of magic, which is just called the demons of magic from the Gallery of Magic, but there are 72 also because they are the essentially like reverse of the angels.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's important. The first 5 books of Moses, you know them as Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Those are not the names that they're known in Hebraic circles. Like, so the second book, Exodus, is actually Shemot, which means the names. Which names? The 72 names. And because the 72 names, as we see, are derived from a passage in Exodus or Shemot. And it's a special formula they go through, and it would take a while to explain it, but you take I think it's 3 of the lines in Exodus, and you read one forward and one backward and the other forward, and you take those letters and you put them onto this grid, and you connect the dots, and you get the 72 names and they're names based on 3 Hebrew letter combinations. And then you add El or Eal to the end, and that's how you get the angel names.
Yes.
So
yeah. So in this photo, they have sort of the construction of all of that happening.
right.
It shows, well, there's a caption, if you will. It just shows the name of God in 72 languages inscribed upon the petals of the symbolic sunflower. Above the circle are 72 powers of God, according to the Qabbalah. Below, 2 trees. On the left, bearing the symbols of the planets. On the right, the signs of the zodiac and the names of the tribes of Israel. The esoteric doctrines of the Qabbalah are in alignment with the secret teachings of all the schools of philosophy, but the method by which its secrets are revealed to the wise and concealed from the ignorant is most unusual. As the religious world interprets its scriptures with 20th century educational facilities, it becomes ever more apparent that the sacred books were not historical documents, but that the kings, sages, prophets, and saviors whom the Bible students have revered for ages as once existing personalities are in reality only personified attributes of man himself.
Right. And
yes.
Generally, I agree. There are some people who will argue that they are in fact historical, and it's a matter of faith. And I let folks have that for sure. I'm not going to argue someone's faith if it tells them that these were real events. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, not everyone will come to that realization in lifetime or experience it, but really, like, that's okay. Like, however you interpret, however you believe is not wrong. Yeah.
Right. If it's important to you, please don't let me stand in your way.
Yeah, exactly. Do whatever you want, as I said in the beginning. So, okay, so then continuing on to page 307, it's talking about how the Kabbalah, according to an early rabbi, was delivered to man in order that through the aid of its abstruse principles, he might learn to understand the mystery of both the universe about him and the universe within him. And I wrote as above, so below, outside next to that, just because it's more, we're about to get into a lot of correspondences. All of it is just still correspondences, really, but yeah, it's always about the out here matching the in here for everything that we've read about in this book, pretty much, and in other books. So, okay, and then the next sentence of the next paragraph says the origin of Kabbalism is a legitimate subject for controversy. Yes, fact. So it says early initiates believed that its principles were first taught by God to a school of his angels before the fall of man. Then the angels communicated the secrets to Adam, so that through the knowledge gained from an understanding of its principles, fallen humanity might regain its lost estate. But then the angel Raziel was dispatched from heaven to instruct Adam in the mysteries of the Qabbalah. And then different angels were employed to initiate the succeeding patriarchs in this difficult science. And then it just says like who was teaching who. Yeah. And then there's like another, I didn't even underline anything on the next quote paragraph from Christian D. Ginsburg. So unless you guys have anything you want to say about that, I don't. So
No,
No. I just
okay.
not really.
I call my razor blades Raziels before I even knew anything about the angel Raziel. That's it.
Okay.
I will say that Moses or Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses the teacher, is actually super like he's important, but he's way more super duper important than most people realize.
Hmm.
So Moses is super extra jumbo important, and that cannot be underemphasized.
Okay, good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we go on to the next paragraph. So according to Eliphas Levi, the three greatest books of Kabbalism are the Sefer Yetzirah, which we're about to read, the Book of Formation. Well, that is the Book of Formation.
Yes.
And then the Sefer HaZohar. Why is that hard to say? Sefer HaZohar, the Book of Splendor, and then the Apocalypse, the Book of Revelation. So there's the dates are basically like not like kind of unknown as far as when they were written, but then there's some theories that the oldest books of the Kabbalist, or the oldest of the Kabbalistic books, was probably from the pen of Rabbi Akiba, which was written in AD 20, which seems like an estimate. But
yeah. Akiva. So transliteration issue with the B there. Akiva with a V.
Oh, okay.
This is going to happen a lot. So I want you to note that these being the three greatest books of Kabbalism with a Q, because Qabbalah with a Q is more of your Dion Fortune mystical Kabbalah, more of your Golden Dawn. Kabbalah with a K would not really care about the Book of Revelation, because that would be more of the Hebrew Kabbalah. And then Kabbalah with a C is Christian Kabbalah. So just note, when you see Kabbalah with a Q, you're talking about more of your Anglo-sphere mystic tradition versus like straight up from the motherland stuff.
Okay.
So which one do you recommend though? C, Q, or K?
I like Q to start with, but I think it's important to go into the K. Now, Sefer Yetzirah is really short. People can read it over and over again. Lots of versions you can read. The Zohar is long as hell. I have read the Zohar for years. I've maybe read 5% of it. It's enormous. It's enormous. And it's wild. It is wild. Like you're like, what is going on? So Sefer Yetzirah, like that's why I tell people read Sefer Yetzirah, because you don't know, you have no idea how gigantic the rest of the literature is.
Yeah. Sefer Yetzirah is like 5 pages, so not long. Can read in one sitting. So, okay. So the Sefer, it just says like the Sefer HaZohar was presumably written by Simeon ben Jokai, a disciple of Akiva. And then it goes on just like about some history of them. I underlined, let's see, what is this? Oh, it says Simeon was 12 years in the cave. Okay, wait. So he escaped. All right. I guess this is a little maybe important. So Rabbi Simeon was sentenced to death, by Lucius Verus, co-regent of the Emperor Mark Aurelius Antoninus, and then he escaped with his son and hid in a cave and transcribed the manuscripts of the Zohar with the assistance of Elias, who appeared to them at intervals. So he'd been in that cave for 12 years, and then during that time, he evolved the complicated symbolism of the greater face and the lesser face. Took 12 years to come up with that.
Yeah.
And then while discoursing with disciples, Rabbi Simeon expired, and he just expired. And the lamp of Israel was extinguished. So his death and burial were accompanied by many supernatural phenomena. Legends go on to relate that the secret doctrines of Kabbalism had been in existence since the beginning of the world, but that Simeon was the first man to basically write them down. Then 1,200 years later, the books which he had compiled were discovered and published for the benefit of humanity by Moses de Leon.
Right. So
Right.
so the big controversy is like, did Simon Bar Yochai write the stuff, or did Moshe de Leon write the stuff? Right. Is it super old, or is it something that Moshe de Leon created? And so it says the probability is that Moshe de Leon himself compiled the Zohar in AD 1305. You can see that's a vast difference in time.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, so there's a lot of unknowns with this still, it seems. Or at least when, like, yes, a lot of unknowns with the whole thing, but I mean, just like with the origins and the who he said,
Right.
she said kind of stuff.
This is what happens with oral traditions, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know how long the story has been going on, and then someone writes it down, and people will say, "Oh, you wrote it right then. You made it up," or they'll say, "No, this was just written from a really old oral tradition." So it's hard to know.
Right. And how do they know he was in that cave for 12 years? Like, what? I don't
Right.
know.
Matters.
That's irrelevant, but just saying. Okay, so then it just says that the Sefer Yetzirah is in this chapter. Okay, so then it also gets into kind of going further down that page on 308. It says few realize, so second full paragraph, but third paragraph on that page, it says few realize the influence exerted by Kabbalism over medieval thought, both Christian and Jewish. It taught that there existed within the sacred writings a hidden doctrine, which was the key to those writings, and this is symbolized by the crossed keys upon the papal crest. So scores of learned minds began to search for those arcane truths by which the race should be redeemed, and that their labor was not without its reward, their subsequent writings have demonstrated. Okay, and then it just gets into, so skipping the next paragraph, going to the bottom big one, where it says the Kabbalists divided their uses of the sacred science into 5 sections. And those 5 sections are the natural Qabbalah, which is the study of nature's mysteries, the analogical Qabbalah, which was the relationship which exists between all things in nature, the contemplative Qabbalah, which was revealing through the higher intellectual facilities the mysteries of the celestial spheres, the astrological Qabbalah, which revealed the mystical constitution of the planet itself, and then the 5th, the magical Qabbalah, which was studied by such a desire to gain control over the demons and subhuman intelligences of the invisible worlds. It was also highly valued as a method of healing by the sick, by talismans, amulets, charms, and invocations.
Right. So you can see how this would have heavily influenced, the Western magical tradition.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And then let's catch up in the chat. So Jack says, oh wait, let's go back before that. So Loy Divine says, right, it's like the volume of a cube for a grown man to go into, 40 seah. It's the knowledge of the prophets, because prophecy was heard by all the people at Mount Sinai. Revelations has nothing to do with Israel. Quantum Jack says, superty duperty. And then Loy says, it was even longer before lots of books were lost. In parentheses, wrote the cheetah. He's teachings, but it was written over generations. First man have authorized have the authorization to teach in semi-public. And then it's written in the Talmud. He went back for one more year after. You're talking about Moses or Simeon?
I think he might be talking about Simon Bar Yochai. Because
Okay.
there's like there's a lot about the whole cave thing too. That's a whole thing where I think he was buried up to his neck, and there was a like a trickle of water that was leaking into the river, and so him and his son, who were both buried up to their necks, were surviving off of this water. And then he would leave the cave and saw things he didn't like, and basically was like murdering people with his judgy laser eyes, and kept pulled back in the it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Wow. These judgy laser eyes. Gotta watch out. Okay, so do we want to just jump into the Sefer Yetzirah now?
We really could.
Let's do that, because I feel like this next big paragraphs are just talking about what we're going to get into and not really that relevant. Like,
Right.
I don't know. I didn't underline anything other than the Sefer Yetzirah, the ancient work, rather reveals God by estimating his manifold handiwork. That's all I underlined. So there. So, all right. So the Sefer Yetzirah, which we're on now, page 309 in this book. If you're following along, or it's also pulled up on the screen if anyone wants to just look at the screen. So chapter 1. Oh, and the Sefer Yetzirah again stands for the book, or is the book of formation.
Yes.
So, trying to think of the best way to go about this. So
right.
Friar, you have the most information and the most knowledge. Like, I can kind of pass the baton to you. I mean, I can also read what I underlined. If you want to kind of go in order of the paragraphs or the paragraphs, we could do that. All right, I guess we'll start that. Never mind. I'll read like the first thing and the second thing, and then I'll pass it over to you, and then just like introduce really quick.
And just before we start, I want to also emphasize something important here too.
Yes.
This is English. A lot is being lost. Hebrew is like the Hebrew is like 15-dimensional language that has way more meaning. English is like collapsing it down into this thing that we can read, but we're losing a lot, just so everyone knows.
Okay, good to know. So
I do have the Sefer Yetzirah from the archive on a separate tab if you want me to relate anything from it at all.
Okay, we can see.
And also my Hebrew sucks now, so
yeah, it's okay. I didn't remember all the letters. I was gonna like look them all up and stuff, but I didn't. But I remembered some. She says, good intro. Yeah, thank you. Good intro indeed. Okay, so I'll read the first. It's written sort of like in verses. Like there's a chapter and then just like verses 1 through 9 or however many they go to. So the first verse or the first like paragraph or sentence or whatever you would want to say of chapter 1 is Yah, the Lord of hosts, the living Elohim, King of the universe, omnipotent, the merciful and gracious God, supreme and extolled, dweller in the height, whose habitation is eternity, who is sublime and most holy, engraved his name and ordained or formed and created the universe in 32 mysterious paths or stages of wisdom, science, by 3 Sephirim, namely numbers, letters, and sounds, which are in him one and the same.
Right.
Yes.
So 32 being 22 paths, 10 Sephirim.
Okay. And I just wrote out vibration next to the one and the same because I felt like that is the sort of constitution of how they are all and the same. I don't know, just the same frequency, same sort of energy. Maybe it's deeper than that and goes into more than that, but that's what I wrote. So
sure,
those were my thoughts. Yeah. So then they also have like the picture of the Tetragrammaton here, Which, if we want to look at that
Right.
before we just dive into the rest of it, that is important.
And don't forget that Hebrew is right to left.
Yes. Yeah. So if you're looking at the Tetragrammaton, which is there, this is by arranging the 4 letters of the great name, which is Yod He Vav He, in the form of the Pythagorean tetractys triangle, the 72 powers of the great name of God are manifested. And then it gives us like an equation of how it comes to 72.
Right.
Yes. And I believe those Hebrew letters are Yod and then Het and then Vav and then Het again.
Hey.
Hey. Okay,
Yeah.
no T.
No
Het
T.
is the closed. Okay.
Right.
Yod, He, Vav, He. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
72, which also do 72 and 70 kind of go hand in hand with each other, kind of meshing a little bit. Because 72 represents the expansive plenitude and manifested diversity, and 70's universality and full representation. That's what I got for that.
Yeah. Lloyd Divine says a lot of knowledge has been lost in the letters. Geometry is not precise. Yeah. That's true. When we're working with what we got, so a lot gets lost in translation.
A lot.
Let's see. So, do we want to like?
Well, I mean, we can cruise through it.
Okay, I'm. You know what? I'm gonna pass this to you, Friar. If you want to
Okay.
kind of summarize or go into just the next bit, and then we can. Oh no, I'm blurry. And then we can, I don't know, kind of discuss as we go. But I'll let you take the reins. Sorry,
Sure.
guys.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
10 Sephirot, 10 properties from the ineffable one, and 22 letters are the foundation of all things. Of those 22 letters, 3 are called mothers, 7 are doubles, and 12 are simples. The 10 numbers, Sephirot out of nothing, or no thing, Ein Sof, are analogous to the 10 fingers and the 10 toes, 5 over against 5. In the center between them is the covenant with the only one God. In the spiritual world, it is the covenant of the voice, the word, and in the corporeal world, the circumcision of the flesh, the rite of Abraham. And yes, they do mean circumcision. 10 are the numbers of the Sephirot out of nothing. 10, not 9. 10, not 11. Comprehend this great wisdom, understand this knowledge, and be wise. Inquire into the mystery and ponder it. Examine all things by means of the 10 Sephirot. Restore the word to its creator, and lead the creator back to his throne again. He is the only formator, and beside him there is no other. His attributes are 10 and are without limit. The 10 ineffable Sephirot have 10 infinitudes, which are as follows: the infinite beginning and the infinite end, the infinite good and the infinite evil, the infinite height and the infinite depth, the infinite east and the infinite west, the infinite north and the infinite south. And over them is the Lord superlatively one, the faithful King. He rules over all in all from his holy habitation for ages of ages. Note, I have seen this passage differently, and it will say things like an abyss of beginning and an abyss of end, an abyss of good and an abyss of evil. So again, the translations vary wildly.
Yeah.
The appearance of the 10 spheres, Sephirot, out of nothing is as a flash of lightning. Pay attention, Golden Dawn kids. Or a sparkling flame. And they are without beginning or end. The word of God is in them when they go forth and when they return. That's another whole thing. They run by his order like a whirlwind and prostrate themselves before his throne. The 10 Sephirot have their end linked to their beginning and their beginning linked to their end. So the Alpha and the Omega, right? Co-joined as the flame is wedded to the live coal. For the Lord is superlatively one, and to him there is no second. Before one, what can you count? Okay, so this is back to the out of nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before one, what can you count? 0.
Mm-hmm.
Concerning the number 10 of the spheres of existence, Sephiroth, out of nothing, seal up your lips and guard your heart as you consider them. And if your mouth opens for utterance and your heart turns toward thought, control them, returning to silence. So it is written, and the living creatures ran and returned. And on this wise was the covenant made with us. These are the 10 emanations of number out of nothing. So that section number 8,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of ways to look at that. But the way I look at it is, if you're trying to define things and you make them finite, you're limiting them. So definition is to make a thing finite and therefore to delimit it. And they're saying don't, because you're going to be cutting off several attributes that you know nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
Right. First, the spirit of the living Elohim, blessed and more than blessed be the living Elohim of ages. His voice, his spirit, and his word are the Holy Spirit. Second, he produced air from the spirit, and in the air he formed and established 22 sounds, the letters. 3 of them were fundamental, or mothers. 7 were double, and 12 were simple, single. But the spirit is the first one and above all. So remembering, from whence they came.
Mm-hmm.
Primordial water he extracted from the air. He formed therein 22 letters and established them out of mud and loam, making them like a border, putting them up like a wall, and surrounding them as with a rampart. He poured snow upon them, and it became earth. As it reads, he said to the snow, be thou earth.
Mm-hmm.
Fire, ether, he drew forth from the water. He engraved and established it by the throne of glory. He fashioned the Sephirim, the Ophanim, and the holy living creatures, cherubim, as his ministering angels. And of these 3, he formed his habitation, as it reads, who made his angel spirits, his ministers, a flaming fire. And in the middle of my PDF, there's the Tetragrammaton.
Yeah, ours is on the next page. We can. Oh, I see. Never mind.
Fifth, he selected 3 consonants, Yod, He, and Vav, from the simple ones, a secret belonging to the 3 mothers or first elements. So Aleph, Mem, and Shin.
Mm-hmm.
Air, water, fire.
Mm-hmm.
He sealed them with his spirit and fashioned them into a great name, and with this sealed the universe in 6 directions.
Yeah.
So think about your
You're talking about this symbol right here, by the way.
No, I think his Tetragrammaton was later, so we haven't gotten there yet. But that's where ours is on that page.
Right. So think about your ceremonial magic when you think about this particular part, okay? Because it's calling out to the different directions and it's sealing these things with different permutations of Yod He Vav He, or Yod He Vav, since He is doubled. He turned towards the above and sealed the height with Yod He Vav. He turned towards the below and sealed the depth with He Yod Vav. He turned forward and sealed the east with Vav Yod He. He turned backwards and sealed the west with Vav He Yod. He turned to the right and sealed the south with Yod Vav He. He turned to the left and sealed the north with He Vav Yod.
Mm-hmm.
These are the 10 ineffable existences out of nothing. From the spirit of the living God emanated air, from the air water, from the water fire, from the fire the depth and the height and the depth, the east and the west, the north and the south.
Yes.
So this is basically like the creation of space as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so in a ceremonial magic context, you're basically doing God magic.
Is there another ritual besides like the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, like that calls on the direct? I'm sure there are, but
I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
There are several iterations of the banishing ritual too, like the supreme banishing ritual, and there's definitely other iterations. I think there is a bedtime prayer, a Hebrew bedtime prayer that does an invocation that's very, very similar.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, thank you for reading that part. So we'll look at, so now we can go to like the next picture, which, because it's popping up in our book, the Hebrew letters according to the Sefer Yetzirah. And then Loe Divine says, banishing, it's a psalm. So we're referring to the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, which is a protection ritual. I mean, it's more than just protection, but it you goes in all the directions. Blurry again. And then calling on the archangels as well. I don't know if I don't think it. Maybe it is. It could be a psalm. I don't think so though.
I think the prayer is from a psalm.
Okay, that could be. Yeah. Very well. Okay, and then that's the picture that we were referring to, and that is definitely in some magic books.
Yeah. So
yeah,
you've got the Aleph Mem and Shin as the mother letters, and then and those are elemental. Okay, so it's water, air, and fire, and then you've got your 7 double letters, which tend to have correspondences with the 7 planets. And then you have your 12 simple letters, single letters that tend to be correspondences with the zodiac, right?
Yes.
So these are also sort of like planes, right? You can think of them, if you look at it as, they're arranged on top of each other. And if you also look at the Golden Dawn's cross, the one with the flower in the middle, there's definitely some correspondences going on with that too.
I think that I could be wrong, but I think that this sigil, if you will, is in magical protection, but I would have to check, and that's a lot to get my book right now, so I'm not going to. But it's definitely in some of the Gallery of Magic books to maybe charge a sigil or something. But it's I've seen it before. Okay, Advanced Trance, do you want to read any part of the next part?
He pulled up the correct graphic.
Oh, perfect.
This thing right here. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the rose cross. And if you were to zoom in on that rose, if you can, you have to zoom in on those.
Not on Microsoft Bing, you can't.
All right, fair enough. But you would notice that it's concentric rings with those same letters.
Okay.
I see.
Huh. Cool. Thank you for pulling that up. Okay, so let's go on to chapter 2 of the Sefer Yetzirah. Advanced Trance, do you want to read anything, or shall we? If I won't make you read all of it, that's okay. Or I can read it.
Yeah, you can read it.
Okay, I'll read it. Okay, so chapter 2. There are 22 basic sounds and letters. 3 are the first elements, water, air, and fire, fundamentals or mothers. 7 are the double letters, 12 are the simple letters. So some of this is going to be repetitive. Bear with us. So the 3 fundamental letters have as their basis the balance. At one end of the scale are the virtues, and at the other the vices, placed in equilibrium by the tongue. Which I thought some of this symbolism was interesting, and I was able to relate it to just like personal things. And that just with, I don't know, there's a lot of power in the tongue, with the tongue. So of the fundamental letters, M is mute like the water, Shin is hissing like the fire, and Aleph or A reconciling breath between them. Hey Bella, you want to come up? No? Okay. All right, well, never mind. Okay, going on to verse 2. The 22 basic letters having been designed, appointed, and established by God, he combined, weighed, and exchanged them, which he will do with a lot of things in like every paragraph. And then he formed them, these things are formed by them, all beings which are in existence, and all which will be formed in time to come. So he established the 22 basic letters formed by the voice and impressed upon the air by the breath, He set them to be audibly uttered in 5 different parts of the human mouth, namely gutturals, and then they have a list of some Hebrew letters, palatals, linguals, dentals, and labials. He fixed the 22 basic letters in a ring or sphere, like a wall with 231 gates, and turned the sphere forward and backwards. Turned forward, the sphere signified good; when reversed, evil. 3 letters may serve for an illustration. There is nothing better than ONG, or pleasure and joy, and that nothing worse than NGO, which is plague and sorrow. How was it all accomplished? He combined, weighed, and changed the aleph with the other letters in succession, and all the others again with aleph, and all again with bet, and so with the whole series of letters. So he just combined and played musical Hebrew letters until everything in the universe was created. Hence, it follows that there are 231 formations or gates through which the powers of the letters go forth. Every creature in every language proceeded from one name and the combinations of its letters. He created reality out of nothing. He called the non-entity into existence and hewed colossal pillars from intangible air. That made me think of like those clouds in space that you see in like pictures of NASA takes of like deep space, where it's like just this formation of, I don't know, it looks like a cloud, but it's like just this pillar. That's what it made me think of. And this has been shown by the example of combining the letter aleph again with all the other letters, and all the other letters with aleph. By speaking, he created every creature and every word by the power of one name. As an illustration, consider the 22 elementary substances from the primitive substance of aleph. The production of every creature from the 22 letters is proof that they are in reality the 22 parts of one living body. So everything in formation, all going back to its oneness, the source that which it sprang from. So that is chapter 2. Is there anything, you guys have anything that you want to say on chapter 2?
No,
not really. No, it's just all very interesting to hear. It's like I enjoy.
So,
go ahead.
There is the 231 gates. If you can probably find a picture of that pretty quick. It looks like a big old ring of letters with lots of connections between them.
Oh, yeah, that's actually I pulled that up here. I have a book, the Practical Qabbalah Magic book I was looking through, and actually should be right here, Divine Names. So it should be right around here.
It kind of looks like a dream catcher, which is a terrible insult to everyone involved, but
it's I don't, like I said, there it is, found it. There it is. 231 gates complete.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
It's all the letters connected to all the other letters.
And
it makes lots and lots of words.
Yes. And everything in the universe.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's one right here is like the starting point of it. That's what it points out to. It's like what it looked like it was by itself, all the connection pieces.
Okay.
I can read chapter 3 if you all need a break from talking.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Read chapter 3. We can kind of pass the baton.
Okay. I'm not going to pronounce the Hebrew, so I was going to say the letters if it's there. So I'm just going to skip over it. Interrupt if you need to. All right, chapter 3. The first 3 elements, the mother letters, resemble a balance on one scale virtue and in the other vice, placed in equilibrium by the tongue. The 3 mothers enclose a great, wonderful, and unknown mystery and are sealed by 6 wings, or elementary circles, namely air, water, fire, each divided into an active and a passive power. The mothers gave birth to the fathers. What's that word? Progenitors?
Progenitors.
Well, pierogi what?
Yes.
Progenitors.
And these gave birth to the generations. Part 3. God appointed and established 3 mothers, combined, weighed, and exchanged them, forming by them 3 mothers, in the universe, in the year, and in man, male, and female. The three mothers in the universe are air, water, and fire. Heaven was created from the elementary fire, or ether. The earth, comprising sea and land, from the elementary water, and the atmospheric air from the elementary air, or spirit, which establishes the balancing among them. Thus, we are all things produced. The three mothers produced in the year heat, coldness, and the temperature state. Heat was created from fire, coldness from water, and the temperate state from air, which equilibrates them. The three mothers produce in man, male and female, breast, abdomen, and head. The head was formed from the fire, the abdomen from the water, and the breast, thorax from air, which places them in equilibrium. God let the letter A, was it Aleph?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aleph. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Predominate in primordial air, crowned it, combined it with the other two, and sealed the air in the universe, the temperate state in the year, and the breast in man, male and female. He let the letter M predominate in primordial water, crowned it, combined it with the other two, and sealed the earth in the universe, including land and sea, coldness in the year, and the abdomen in man, male and female. And finally, he let the letter
Shin. Yeah.
Shin.
Shim. He let the letter Shim predominate in primordial fire, crowned it, combined it with the other two, and sealed heaven in the universe, heat in the year, and the head of man, male and female.
Cool. Thank you for reading that.
Mhm.
So kind of just more expanding further on the formation of everything and how everything is stemming from the three mothers. Well, for right now, the three mothers.
Right.
And then it will eventually get into the double letters and the rest of it. So that was the first three chapters about the three mothers and their correspondences and their connections to what they are creating and the formation of things. I thought it was interesting just to notate like well, I guess we are there, but the correspondences between like the body and the elements and all the other things that are connected, like the parts of nature, and just kind of, I don't know, acknowledging that, understanding that, feeling that to some extent. So
Yeah, to me, it seems more intrinsic than because I was raised Roman Catholic. Like it would just say like it took 7 days to make Earth. Like God said something, and then like He made darkness became light, and then like they're on the 7 days, and this goes more into like the intrinsic part of like how each not a being a purpose. There's more, you know, more more finite purposes of like how it works off each other, kind of like the wheels and cogs kind of thing. And that's the stuff I kind of look for, like the know-how, the blueprints, the specs, which is I'm always chasing the blueprints and the instruction manuals of things, which is
Right.
what I liked about it. And that's way better than how the Roman Catholics taught it. And it's like this is my kind of thing right here.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. This
Riley,
is
do you have
this is
anything
more
to say?
detailed.
Yeah.
No, that I mean, I'd say that's a decent way to look at it.
Mhm.
Again, though, this is a version of
Yeah.
Sefer Yetzirah. There are many, and it's worth it to look at the different ones because you will see some substantial differences.
Hmm. Yeah. And so I guess it's also important to say, like, don't lean on one more heavily than the other. I don't know, like if one resonates more than the other, if you do that, maybe follow that, listen to that or whatever, but or just take from all of them. And
Right. And understand this is mystery literature, so it is not necessarily going to be exact, right? It's not necessarily going to give you a dry formula for anything. There's a lot of, this is alluding to ideas that are hard to put into words.
Mm.
So
Yes.
like a parable or an allegory would do to try to
Hmm.
get an idea across that isn't necessarily about the words on the paper, but the
About
bigger
that.
idea.
Lots of parables and allegories in this book. And not in the Sefer Yetzirah, but in this, the Secret Teachings of All
Yeah,
Ages book.
right.
But you're saying there's like various different versions of this. Well, how many versions have you counted so far that covers this?
Well, so there's this version, there's the William Wynne Westcott version, there's um at least two that I've seen. I want to say um gosh, the Kabbalah Center has their translation. I want to say Chabad has their translation. There's I can't think of the name of it. There's several resources online that have their different versions of it. And Safaria, that's the one I couldn't think of.
Mm.
They have a version, and you will note that some of them are easier to read than others. Some of them are almost nonsensical. The ones that
Mm.
are nonsensical are actually the ones that are probably the most direct translations from the Hebrew.
That makes sense.
So you read it and you're like, what are these words? This is crazy. Not that they're using Hebrew words. It's just the direct, when you see it directly translated, it's like, wow, I don't understand this. Okay, I
Mhm.
don't get it. So that's why I say if you read different versions, you start to get the idea. And if you really wanted to bore down into it, go ahead and get the Hebrew version and do your own translation. Just one to, not that you're going to become a scholar overnight, but you will at least see the words, the actual words, and you'll see the various meanings that are possible of the word, because there's usually a lot. And you realize it's the kind of thing, as I studied it, I realized that I know enough to know how much I really don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of like suddenly realizing that you are really ignorant. Like, oh my God, this is humongous. And I
Mm.
am not equipped.
Mm. Yeah, it's a humbling feeling to experience.
I mean, it's a true never-ending story, so
It's
I think that's
enormous.
great. It's a book,
Yeah.
it's a book that you don't have to buy once. You never have to reread it again. Yeah, I like that. That sounds cool to me. A never-ending storybook. I finally
Yeah,
get to own a copy of a never-ending storybook.
you
Yeah,
do.
that's awesome.
Even as we speak.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. All right, I'll dig into chapter 4.
Yeah, go ahead.
The seven double letters. Oh
Oh,
boy.
before we
Um,
do, just want to point out, just like Loey, how you say it? Loey Divine, Loey Divine. I
Lloyd
say
Divine, probably.
Loey Divine. The last three things, just want to like Loey
Yeah.
Divine is like just dropping stuff in
Yeah.
the chat, saying the human is considered a world in Kabbalah, so it's made on the same blueprint of the universe. Indeed, it's speaking of spiritual matters, and that's when you really understand when you know you don't understand.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot.
Mhm.
Like Golden Dawn is child's play compared to this stuff.
Mm.
It
Wow.
really is. Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is.
I'll work my way up out of preschool. How about that?
It's tough. All right, chapter 4, the seven double letters. Let's try this. I've only got the first letter of each of the letters, so I'm gonna say it's Bet and Gimel and Daled, and the K is probably Kaf,
Mm.
and then Pei and Resh, and TH is maybe Tav. I don't know. TH, is there a TH?
I don't know.
The seven double letters have a duplicity of pronunciation, two voices, aspirated and unaspirated, namely lots of dots. They serve as a model of softness and hardness, strength and weakness. So there's basically two ways to pronounce each of the letters.
Mm.
The seven double letters symbolize wisdom, riches, fertility, life, power, peace, and grace. That's seven. The seven double letters also signify the antitheses to which human life is exposed. The opposite of wisdom is foolishness, of riches, poverty, of fertility, sterility, of life, death, of power, servitude, of peace, war, and of beauty, deformity. I will note right here that seven tends to call up the image of the planets, right?
Mm.
So they're hinting that the planets have two modes, two modalities, right? There's like and this is present in ceremonial magic for sure. Is you've got the the good version of the planet and the not so great version of the planet, right? The aspects. So that's where, this is where some of that stuff comes from. The seven double letters point out the six dimensions: height, depth, east and west, north and south, and the holy temple in the center, which sustains them all.
Mm.
Right? So they're including the center.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the tree of life as one, the model where the tree of life is just one tree, not four trees. In the center, you've got the seven, planets. So you've got the six in a ring around the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And so that also calls that image forth.
That's true. Yeah.
This one just the simple tree of life right here.
Yes.
Okay.
So you would that third one at the upper left gets moved into the position of Da'at, which is sort of between the top one and the middle one, for purposes of the seven planets. All right. The double letters are seven and not six. Here we go again with this type of language. Seven and not six. They are seven and not eight. Reflect upon this fact. Search into it and reveal its hidden mystery and place the creator on his throne again.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is calling to something that you don't know. Like, this is probably going to fit into something else somewhere else that you may or may not have heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is mystery text stuff. This happens a lot. The seven double letters, having been designed, established, purified, weighed, and exchanged by God, he formed of them seven planets in the universe, 7 days in the year. Okay.
Yeah, they clarify that later. I think
And
yeah. Anyways, continue.
and seven gateways of the senses in man, male and female. So the holes in your head. From these seven, he also produced seven heavens, seven earths, and seven Sabbaths. Therefore, he loved seven more than any other number beneath his throne. The seven planets in the universe are Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Moon. The 7 days in the year are the 7 days of the week. Possibly the 7 creative days are meant. The 7 gateways in man, male and female, are 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, and the mouth. Notes, Knut Stenrig has other things to say about it. Kircher has a different order. William and Westcott has a different order. And yes, so you will see very quickly that the Golden Dawn's correspondences, and in fact, much of the West's correspondences, if you speak Spanish or you speak French, you know that the 7 days of the week are named after, like, the gods of the planets, right? So the correspondences for the 7 days of the week and the planets that we know from French or the Romance languages or the Golden Dawn are not the same as what is in this book. So they are different.
Mm-hmm.
In the central triangle, this is that image yet again.
Oh, do you have
In the PDF, it's got the.
Okay, yeah, we can skip that, I guess, unless it's.
Well, it's quick. In the central triangle are the 3 mother letters from which come forth the 7 double letters, the planets in the heavens. Surrounding the black star are the signs of the zodiac, symbolized by the 12 simple letters. In the midst of the star is the invisible throne of the most ancient of the ancients, the supreme definitionless creator. So playing with the Ein Sof again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First, he caused the letter Bet to predominate in wisdom, crowned it, combined each with the others, and formed by them the moon in the universe, the first day in the year, and the right eye in man, male and female. He caused the letter Gimel to predominate in riches, crowned it, combined each with the others, and formed by them Mars in the universe, the second day in the year, and the right ear in man. He caused the letter Daled to predominate infertility, crowned it, and combined each with the others, and formed by them the sun in the universe, the third day in the year, and the right nostril in man. He caused the letter Kaf, I'm assuming, to predominate in life, crowned it, and combined it with the others, and formed by them Venus in the universe, the fourth day in the year, and the left eye in man. He caused the letter Pe to predominate in power, crowned it, combined each with the others, and formed by them Mercury in the universe, the fifth day in the year, and the left ear in man. He caused the letter Resh to predominate in peace crowned it, combined each with the others, and formed by them Saturn in the universe, the sixth day in the year, and the left nostril in man. He caused the letter, I'm assuming that's Tav, to
Maybe.
I should know this, but it's been a while. To
Yeah.
predominate in grace, crowned it, combined each with the others, and formed by them Jupiter in the universe, the seventh day in the year, and the mouth of man. So you'll see right away if you look back and go, okay, wait, Jupiter is the seventh, Saturn's the sixth.
Mhm.
This is where I say it kind of doesn't
Yeah, it doesn't
match,
work.
right?
Yeah.
So with the seven double letters, he also designed seven earths, seven heavens, seven continents, seven seas, seven rivers, seven deserts, 7 days, 7 weeks, from Passover to Pentecost, and in the midst of them his holy palace. There is a cycle of 7 years, and the seventh is the release year, and after 7 release years is the Jubilee. So there's like 49 years, and the 50th is the Jubilee.
Mm.
For this reason, God loves the number 7 more than any other thing under the heavens. In this manner, God joined the 7 double letters together. 2 stones. Okay, he's talking about a matrix. 2 stones build 2 houses. I mean, a mathematical matrix, not like
Right. Yeah.
Neo.
Yeah.
2 stones build 2 houses. So if you have 2 letters, you have 2 different versions of 2 different words you can make out of 2 letters, right?
Mhm.
So Ab or Ba, if you had B and A, you'd have the 2 stones, A and B, build 2 houses, Ab and Ba. That's just an example. 3 stones build 6 houses, 4 stones build 24 houses, 5 stones build 120 houses, 6 stones build 720 houses, and 7 stones build 5,040 houses. So again, we're talking about a matrix of permutations, mathematically speaking.
Yes.
Make a beginning according to this arrangement and reckon further than the mouth can express or the ear can hear, because it's mystical.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to read the first one of chapter 5.
Okay.
Because it's racked with Hebrew letters, and watch me struggle. It'll be fun for everyone.
Okay, cool.
The 12 simple letters. Hey, Vav. Z is Zion.
Yes.
Het. Is that going to be Tet? And
or
we did Tav the last. I said it was Tav, so I'm going to say this is Tet. Yod, Lamed, Noon, Samek. O. What is O? I don't know what O is. Tzadi and Kolf. I don't know what O, like, is there an O? Like,
I don't remember an O, but I don't remember them all.
Maybe, yeah. Anyway, those symbolize the 12 fundamental properties: speech, thought, movement, sight, hearing, work, coition, smell, sleep, anger, taste, and mirth.
Mm-hmm. Yes, cool. I was looking up to see if there's an O.
There are things that look like O's, but I don't know of an O.
Yeah, I don't know of an O. There's Kaf.
I mean, Samek looks like an O, but it's not.
Yeah. Nun, Mem, Lamed, Tav, Shin, Resh, Sadi. Sadi? Maybe?
Sadi is TZ. Sadi is TZ.
Pe, Ayin, Samek, Nun, Mem, Lamed, Kaf, Yod, Tet, Het, Zayin, Vav, He, Dalet, Gimel, Bet, Aleph. I don't know which one's O that they're talking about. Unless it's one of the... No, I don't know. I was trying to learn the Hebrew a while ago, and I was taking, what's his name? Baal Kadmon's class.
Right, Baal Kadmon.
Yeah, which is a great class, but I didn't finish it. But I had my notes handy. But I didn't find the answer to what we were questioning, so that wasn't that handy.
You said what is O in Hebrew? Is that what you're saying? You're asking what O in Hebrew is?
But there's not an, I mean, there,
yeah, just like that sound, I guess.
I'm gonna dig into a different version and see if I'm lucky enough to have.
Okay. Lois says Samek. I mean, Samek looks like an O, but it doesn't sound like an O. Bella, come here.
Oh, weird. Okay, so this is the William Wynne Westcott version.
Mm-hmm.
It says the 12 simple letters are Hey, Vav, Zion, Heth, Tet, Yod, Lamed, Nun, Samek. The O is Oyen. I'm like, do you mean
Oh. Oh. But
like
it's I knew it as A with an A, so that's misleading. Ayin or Iron, I don't know.
it's okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal, but
Oyen,
okay.
that's new.
I can read. Oh, wow, I was looking at the wrong page. Advanced Trance, do you want to read? Do you have a preference of which? How about I do chapter 5 and then you do chapter 6?
That's cool. We do that.
Okay, cool. Okay, so going on to chapter 5 of the Sefer Yetzirah. The friar just read the first paragraph with all the things and the letters, so thank you for doing that. And that's why we got onto the conversation of the O.
So the O is Iron.
Yes, the O
For
is
sure.
I.
All right,
Yes.
cool.
Cool. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that.
Oh, like in that Bob Marley song, Ion, like Lion and Zion.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so number 2, little paragraph number 2. The simple letters correspond to 12 directions: east height, northeast, east depth, south height, southeast, south depth, west height, southwest, west depth, north height, northwest, north depth. And then they diverge to all eternity and are the arms of the universe.
Yes.
That's a lot of arms just
It is.
everywhere. Like in what's that? Is it a Hindu god with all the arms? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Kali?
Many of them can have lots of arms. They can have as many arms as they want. So Krishna will occasionally have lots of arms, and then
Okay, so not necessarily related, but also maybe kind of related. Okay, just the arms.
Lloyd Divine, what are you talking about? It's in cursive in your version, Trans. What you talking about? Sorry. What are you talking about? It's like I can speak cursive. All right,
I don't
keep
know.
going. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. So number 3, the simple letters have been designed, established, weighed, and exchanged by God. He produced them 12 zodiacal signs in the universe, 12 months in the year, and 12 chief organs in the human body, male and female. These signs of the zodiac are, we all know the signs, but Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Libra, Virgo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. I hope I didn't skip over one. Yes.
No, that's good. I'm gonna read these because these are goofy.
Oh, good. Please.
Okay. The months of the year are Nisan, Iyar, Shivan, Tammuz, Av, Elul, Tishrei, Marshavan, probably screwed that one up, Kislev, Tevet, Shevat, and Adar.
Cool. Thank you. The organs, then we go into the organs. The 12 organs of the human body are the 2 hands, 2 feet, 2 kidneys, gall, small intestine, liver, esophagus, stomach, and spleen. And it says, note in the following 12 stanzas, Knut Stenring. That's a terrible name.
It's
Knut
so
Stenring.
it's
What?
like what'd you name your kid if it was like 1792?
Awful. Terrible. Oh my god. I read it as nut
Knut.
the first time. I was like, nut Stenring, but Knut's even worse than nuts.
Every time I saw it, I would say K-nut. And it's like I couldn't think of any way to say it.
None of them are good. They're all bad. So
I'll read the Hebrew letter. When you read this next section, I'll read the Hebrew letter.
okay.
By the way, your Hindu iconography, many deities are depicted with multiple arms, often 4, 6, 8, 10, or more. All it does is symbolize their superhuman power. That's pretty much all it is.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Shiva is probably the one you're thinking of, the one like the statue in front of
I
the
think
CERN or
so.
whatever.
Yeah, it just
Yes.
says Lord the top ones everyone knows about, Lord Ganesha, which I like Ganesha. I like Ganesha because and I have a tapestry, which I usually should have behind me. I like Ganesha because like it should challenge you. And if you're not doing anything, if you're not doing anything, it challenges you. But if you're doing something challenging, it helps you out with it. Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, and Goddess Durga. I didn't know about Goddess Durga at all, actually, until this popped up. But yeah.
Okay, so so God caused the letter
Hey.
to
Yeah.
To predominate in speech, crowned it, combined it with the others, and fashioned them by Aries, the ram in the universe, the month Nisan in the year, and the right foot of the human body. So this is going to be a whole bunch of correspondences, guys.
Yes.
That's all it is. So he caused the letter Vev,
Vav, yes.
Vav, to predominate in thought, crowned it, combined it with the others, and fashioned them by Taurus, the bull in the universe, the month Iyar, I think.
ER. Yeah.
Glory again. And the right kidney of the human body, male and female. He caused the letter
Zion.
to predominate in movement, crowned it, combined it with the others, and fashioned by them Gemini in the universe, the month Sivan,
Yeah.
Shivan,
Shivan, yeah.
Shivan, and the left foot of the human body. He caused the letter Het. Okay, Het to predominate in sight, crowned it, combined it with the others, and fashioned them by Cancer. In the universe, the month Tammuz in the year, and the right hand of the human body. So again, just all these related things, but we're going to keep going. He caused the letters
Tet.
Damn. To predominate in hearing, crowned it, combined it with the others, and fashioned them by Leo in the universe, the month Av, and the left kidney of the human body. I know this one. He caused the letter Yod to predominate in work, crowned it, combined it, fashioned them by Virgo. I'm just gonna, with the month Elul and the left hand of the body. He caused the letter, is this Lamed?
That's no.
No.
No, it is Lamed. Sorry.
Lamed? Right. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, nice. He caused the letter Lamed. It relates to Libra, the month Tisri, and the gall in the body. Then there's the letter
That would be Noon.
Relates to Scorpio. Marshavan is the month. Marchesvan? March is fun. I don't know.
March is fun.
March is fun. And the small intestine. And then he caused the letter Samek. Yes. Fashioned them by Sagittarius in the universe, the month Kislev in the year, and the stomach in the human body. He caused the letter Ayin.
Yes.
Ayin, whatever. Relates to or fashioned them by Capricorn. Which happy Capricorn season. The month Tevet.
Yes.
Okay, and the liver. Thanks for the check-in. And then he caused the letter Sadi,
Yes.
Sadi to fashioned by Aquarius in the month Sevat and the esophagus in the human body. And then he caused the letter
Cough, yep.
Cough, sweet. Fashioned them by Pisces in the month Adar and in the spleen of the human body. And Advanced Strands has a little diagram there of the body and the letters, at least.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
What a happy-looking person.
Yeah.
I don't trust that person at all.
No, it reminds me of that one emoji that's like, I can't get my lips that way, but just like
right
squiggly, but they're not smiling. It's like so.
Oh, it's got the Nirvana smile on it. Yeah.
It's like okay, and then number 6, he made them as a conflict. He arranged them as provinces and drew them up like a wall. He armed them and set one against another as in warfare. And the Elohim did likewise in the other spheres.
Right. So that alludes to the idea of the zodiac and its elemental nature, and how some elements don't get along with other elements, like fire and water don't get along, or you know, people who do love readings are like, oh, he's an Aries and you're Pisces, and like based on the elements, you know, you're not going to get along, that kind of thing. That's one of the many things this is talking about. Also important to note, the months and the zodiac are not the same things. They definitely name them as different things, but man, you want to talk about a much more complicated calendar. I have a great deal of respect for the complications of the Hebrew calendar. It's lunar in nature. And I discovered that, you know, if you go by that calendar, your birthday is not the same day on
Oh, you talking about the lunar calendar thing?
yeah, from year
Oh
to year,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
changes days. You're like, oh, I
Whoa,
thought it was yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
interesting.
so so there's not a tight super one-to-one correspondence between the months
Yeah. I
on
like
the
it because
calendar
I'm
and
still a Scorpio, but it's like 14 days back. It's
right.
great.
Hmm.
But it changes from year to year.
Yeah. that's what I'm trying to follow this year is like the lunar calendar and see if it corresponds with anything
Hmm.
with like any kind of like the what's that we're looking for? Um, all right, I'll think of it later. But basically, you know how they said like wear colors on certain days and like do things at certain times
Sure.
or and certain
Yeah.
yeah, like
And
go ahead.
in the comments, Low I Divine is correct. It's both lunar and solar. It's super complicated.
Hmm.
Like there's a reason that the hebcal.org exists because you got to look the stuff up. You
Hmm.
really do.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
It's HEBCAL. I think it's .org, and it's got lots of interesting things in it. Oh,
HEB what?
CAL Hebcal. It's a Hebrew calendar.
Oh, HEBCO. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Gotcha.
All right, chapter 6.
Sorry.
Yes, chapter 6.
I'm doing it.
Advanced,
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Sorry. I went down a rabbit hole, trying to go off screen.
and this is
Rabbit.
the last chapter, guys. So bear with us. This is like it, and then we're done with the Sefer Yetzirah. So
Yeah.
lots of more or less similar information, but all very. I don't know if you're into this kind of stuff. It's interesting. Um, just good knowledge to have. So.
Yeah, it's just one big giant instruction manual. That's all it is. This chapter is one big giant instruction manual.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here we are.
Chapter 6. There are three mothers of first elements, from which emanated three fathers, primordial, spiritual air, water, and fire, from which issued the seven planets, heavens, with their angels, and 12 oblique points, zodiac. To prove there are three faithful witnesses, the universe, the year, and man. There are the 12, the balance, and the seven. Above is the dragon, below is the world, and lastly the heart of man, and in the midst of God who regulates them all. By the way, did anyone see that thing on Google Earth where there's like a giant dragon head? It just so happened to platonic what's it called? The platonic something shift, not platonic shift, but like whatever it is, the bed of the like underneath the water. It looks like a dragon head got buried underneath the ocean kind of thing. It's like even to the I think it's off to the left of United States. I'll have to find it and show it to you, but it's kind of freaky.
Interesting. I'll look it
Yeah.
up.
So it's like there's probably a dragon hidden in the world.
Most definitely.
Um, the first elements are air, water, and fire. The fire is above, the water is below, and a breath of air establishes balance between them. The token is the fire carries the water. The letter M is mute. Sh is hissing like fire. There is A among them, a breath of air which reconciles the two. The dragon, Tally, is the universe like a king upon his throne. The celestial sphere is in the year like a king in his empire, and the heart is in his body of men like a king in warfare. God also sets the opposites against each other, the good against the evil against the good. Good proceeds from good, evil from evil. The good purifies the bad the good. The good is reserved for the good, and the evil for the wicked. What? You know, there are
Yeah.
three of which each stands by itself. One is the affirmative, filled with good. One is the negative, filled with evil. And the third equilibrates them. There are seven divided three against three, and one in the midst of them, balance. 12 stands in warfare. Three produce love and three hatred. Three are life givers and three are destroyers. Isn't that what God is? It's like generator, generator something, destroyer.
Creator, maintainer, and destroyer or completer if you're an optimist, you know.
Gotcha. The three that cause love are the heart and the two ears. The three that produce hatred are the liver, the gall, and the tongue. The three life givers are the two nostrils and the spleen, and the three destroyers are the mouth and the two lower openings of the body.
I thought that was interesting. I
It's
thought
like
the paragraph was interesting.
it's crazy how they say destroyers of the mouth, but like everything resonates within, and you need the mouth to make everything resonate outward to make manifestation happen.
Well, I think there was a verse that says man is not befouled by what he puts in his mouth, but what comes out.
Hmm.
And there's also major consequences for lashon hara, which is evil speech.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Lashon hara, is that what you called it?
Yeah,
Lashon hara.
evil
Just like
speech.
speaking evil into the world.
Yeah, gossip is another common definition for it.
Oh my God. People who talk for just the sake of talking, I can't. I can't. I was like I like when a friend of mine, Sonny, he he's Hindu, he runs like a deli, and he basically taught me the whole thing with the Hindu when they shake their heads side by side. It's like many different ways of like agreement kind of thing. And they believe like people who just chit chat all day, it's like every breath is important because the more words you use, the more life gets expelled out of you, kind of thing.
Right.
I thought that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
It's like because I
Prana,
just can't
prana is
chit chat.
breath.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's why I only speak selectively. I'm not, wait, what's that word looking for? I'm not shy. I'm just very selective when it comes to a conversation because otherwise I just can't. I'm not up for talking about Kardashians. That's not my thing.
Yeah. No Kardashian talk here.
Nah, bruh.
Um,
Okay, so yeah, stories of the mouth over and the lower openings of the body. Yeah. Also, too, by the way, I know it's a little crude, but also too, it's very bad for you to like urinate on yourself, by the way. So don't do that.
All right.
It's bad. I'm just saying, it's like it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It does bad stuff to you. Like
okay.
I okay, I'll stop. Over the rules of God, the faithful king, from his holy habitation in all eternity, God is one above three. Bless you. Three are above seven. Seven are above 12,
Right. Layers, like
like
that
ogres.
diagram. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Hmm.
ogres. Yeah. I want to read that one again.
Yeah, all are linked together.
Yes.
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 Mm-hmm. Does that mean Shrek is Jewish? Because he starts with a shush, shush, shush.
Probably.
Oh my God.
I think that is what it means.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to rabbit hole at work tomorrow. It's going to be great. I was
Okay.
going to make all the rookies do my work, and I was going to sit in the van on the iPad and just look stuff up. It's going to be great.
Look up how Shrek is Jewish.
Yep.
If you learned anything from this book club, it's that Shrek is Jewish.
Shrek is Jewish.
Great. Cool. Okay, finish up the next paragraph.
Okay.
Next little bit.
This is how my mind works. God is one above three. Three are above seven. Seven are above 12. Yet all are linked together if you get a good bargain. There are 22 letters by which the I am Yah, the Lord of hosts, almighty and eternal, designed and created by three Sephirim, numbers, letters, and sounds, which is, yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, double check that one. His universe and formed by them all creatures and all those things that are yet to come.
Mhm.
When the patriarch Abraham have comprehended the great truths, meditated upon them, and understood them perfectly, the Lord of the universe, the Tetragrammaton, appeared to him, called to him his friend, kissed him upon the head, and made him with a covenant. First, the covenant was between the 10 fingers of his hands, which is the covenant of the tongue, spiritual. Second, the covenant was between the 10 toes of his feet, which is the covenant of circumcision, material. And God said of him before Abraham, I would say, Hold on. And God said of him, before Abraham bound the spirit of the 22
No,
letters.
wait. And God said of him, "Before I formed thee, I knew thee."
Is that what it means?
No, that's what it says in the
What?
book. I don't know what.
Mine is different.
Oh, well, mine says, and said, God said of him, "Before I formed thee, I knew thee."
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I'm reading off the website right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Abraham bound the spirit is the next
Yeah.
sentence.
God
Yeah.
permitted the letters to be immersed. Wait, yeah, before he bound the spirit of the 22 letters, the Torah, upon his tongue, and God disclosed to him their secrets. God permitted the letters to be immersed in water. He burned them in the fire and printed them upon the winds. He distributed them among the 7 planets and gave them to the 12 zodiacal signs. I
Yep.
like that ending. You like that ending, Luna? Good. I like that ending. That's a good
Yeah.
ending.
Good ending.
Stop.
Distributed among the planets and the zodiacal signs. So great. Thanks for reading that. Yeah. So this is it, to me, it just seemed like I was reading a creation story the whole time, which we were.
Well, it's the Book of Formation, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Mhm.
there you go, guys. That's where we came from.
That's
Pretty
right.
much.
So when
In more or less words and symbols and hidden meanings. So yes.
So
when letter and number and speech love each other very much.
and
Yeah.
awesome words. And then thus the baby slang was born.
Hmm.
It's funny because I was keeping one eye on that and then looking at the William Wynne Westcott version and just remarking how vastly different they are. Because
Hmm.
this version of Sefer Yetzirah that's in here is like the Lucky Special Manly P. Hall only version. It's a version they cooked up just for the book.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so this
Make
is
it
a
more digestible or something? Like
there was stuff cut out, like
yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. And
Hmm.
to try to make it more digestible, yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's you can it's the benefit of this being relatively short is that you do have kind of the time to be like, oh, I'll read another version. Okay, I'll look at another version. I'll
That's true.
check
Yeah.
out another version.
Hmm.
So yes. Um, but this is a kind of a cool thing because I know I'm always banging on about Sefer Yetzirah, and today it was Sefer Yetzirah day.
Yes, today
Yeah.
was Sefer Yetzirah Day. So for those, that are watching this that are interested in ceremonial magic, whatever reason you're here, like I thought it would be a good chapter just like to kind of dive into the origins of that a little bit more. Especially if you've like worked with any sigils or like the 72 angels or 72 names of God in any capacity. It all like this is kind of the source of it. And I don't know. I find that stuff interesting. So that's why we're like doing book club
Yeah.
about it.
So I do have here real quick. If you give me two
Yeah.
minutes. Actually, someone actually asked him the question about this stuff before, like a couple years before he died,
Uh-huh.
or murdered by the Freemasons. Someone asked him about this stuff, and he said, like, basically, it's a bridge between the material and divine, exoteric religion and the esoteric inner truth. It decodes how God created and sustains reality through symbolic, numerical, and linguistic principles, enabling initiates to grasp cosmic order, human divinity, and spiritual regeneration. He lamented its fading comprehension in its era, but presents an esoterical for unlocking biblical mysteries and humanity's higher potential. Um, Hall wants uh, Hall wants you all to see Kabbalah not as obscure Jewish mysticism, but as a universal logical framework for understanding creation, God, and the self, part of the secret teachings shared across ancient traditions. It serves as an accessible introduction, uh, blending historical lore, and this is the guy's name, explaining, blending historical lore, textual excerpts, and symbolic explanations to inspire deeper study. It's basically what Hall related to him like a couple of years after a conference or lecture before he died.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting. Thanks for reading that.
Mhm.
Cool. Well, that's that chapter. So is there anything, Briar, is there anything that you kind of want to say? I think I don't really have much to say on this. Like it was just informative to me, and I'm glad that I finally read it because I feel like I don't know, you've told me personally for like months now that I should read this, and I didn't and know that this was in the chapter when I picked it. I was just like, oh, the Kabbalah, and here we are.
Right.
So it
Here we
was
are.
time to be read. Um,
Something that the Book of Formation is talking about, which is an important concept, is the concept of emanation, which is the idea of things springing forth from other things, right?
mm,
And this whole process of, how are things made. So the Aleph and the Mem and the Shin are called the mother letters, and from
mm,
them, spring forth the double letters. And so this is, you could sort of see it as like this cascading effect of, there's the one ineffable God, Ein Sof, the limitless, or the no thing, and from that springs, very, very basic primordial things, and from those spring more and more discrete things, kind of cascading down. And so there's these things are also sort of like potentials too,
mm, mm,
and do note that they are, all of this is really referring to things that you can find in yourself as potentials,
mm.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So this makes for a map of the internal architecture as
Mm,
well, and you can spend a lot of time with this stuff, and think about this particular map, and what it says about where things come from, and what your internal characteristics are, and that's
yeah,
part of the mystery, right?
yeah,
I think that's a much more practical and personal use for material of this kind, because I think if you see it as all external, it has nothing to do with you.
right. Yeah, when I was reading through it, there were a couple areas where I um just took a personal meaning and understanding of what it was saying, regardless of if it, like was whatever it was saying in the book. Like specifically, like on one of the last paragraphs where it says like the three that cause love are the heart and the two ears, and then the three that produce hatred are the liver, the gall, and the tongue. Like it just, I don't know, like I applied that with its own meaning in my life and like what that looks like, what that means, and also like took it as a form of like, if toxins, like, if we fill the liver and the gall and the tongue with toxins, like that's what more so what we will produce, and like they're just kind of seeing like a perspective on, I don't know, like the energy that those things emanate and how we really ultimately like have the choice, like how to like, I hope this makes sense, how we have the choice to determine, how those organs function for us based on like how we treat ourselves and how we treat others and such and such. So like I don't know, that was kind of the meanings that I took out of some of the things. Um as I was reading this, I also like, paid attention to like the Sagittarius and the letters because I was like, oh, whatever. But like otherwise it doesn't really mean much. It was mostly just interesting um to read about and to learn about. So
I
yeah.
liked it. It made me feel good when I read about it. Like I mentioned before, you know,
Hmm.
little intricate details of the cogs and wheels of like how things work and coexist with each other. And then Friar comes along and says like, yeah, it's cute if you want to learn with crayons. And I'm like, what? And he says, yeah, there's all the different variables out there. I'm like,
It's
more?
Always.
There is, and I say these things not to belittle or berate anyone. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I want to
No,
make
I
sure
just
that
say it for comical relief, but go ahead.
that's fine. I just want people to understand that like this stuff is, it's kind of deep, it's kind of serious, and there's way more than the surface. If you like, all right, so this is Sefer Yetzirah. It's relatively short. You read the Zohar, which is gigantic, and there you'll see the same things in the Zohar as is being said here.
Hmm.
Um, it There's obviously way more of Zohar, but these are ideas and um, allegories, and it's not meant to be the final say, right? You don't read Sefer. Let's say that there was a perfect translation of Sefer Yetzirah.
Hmm.
and you read it, that would not really, it's not like the final, all right, so I read it and I know all the things. These are to be contemplated. These are things to like you, this is the seed from which you would sit down and like draw stuff out and you know, make diagrams and be like like me, a crazy person. And you,
Mhm.
you know, that diagram with the 3 and the 7 and the 12 on it, right?
Mhm.
Like that's layers, almost like the gears on a 10 speed or a 12 speed or 20 speed or whatever the kids are doing today. um you know,
Just
it's a
speed.
it's nested, so you've got the three mother letters sitting on top of the 7 and then they're sitting on top of the 12,
Mhm.
right?
It's kind of like a mandala too, like just sort of that
Yeah.
produced from the inner, expanding outward. It's like
And
a lot of things ultimately, but
yeah, and so what is the inner and what is the outer and what does that mean to you? Is the
yeah,
this is mystery literature meant for contemplation, and it says so. It says contemplate, you know, the importance of this
it does
sentence.
say, yeah, it does. Reflect on this. Yeah. Okay, I will. No.
Yeah. And
Yes.
Lloyd Divine, or the last two things. Also, it teaches that the Hebrew letter shapes are obligated and not agreed upon. And at Friar Pessel, second Zohar, heard of it? Question mark.
Second Zohar, like the other
Yes,
Zohar.
the second Zohar.
um or are you saying like I second the reading of the Zohar, and that's a good idea, and I have heard of
No,
the Zohar, but
no, that's no,
if
it's a question. Second
if
Zohar, heard of
if
it?
there's like the other Zohar, the I well, I'll never get to it because the first Zohar is giant. So if there's a second Zohar, that is fascinating. I've never heard of it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. The other Zohar, but yeah, Zohar is enormous, and it's it is not for beginners. That much I can tell you. Like you kind of have to know your names of your Sephirot like cold to be able to read it, because it constantly is using the names of the Sephirot. And it's good for you to know what they are and where they are and kind of what they represent so that you can follow along.
Hmm.
So
So
you should learn the Zephyrah, then read the Zohar.
it would help if you have a diagram of the tree of life in your head with the Hebrew names of the Sephirot in your mind, like a real super solid map that you can just like, you know, Keter, Hokmah, Bina, Hesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and Malchut. If you can just like rattle that off and know where those stations are on the tree of life, then the Zohar is not going to be horrible for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. After getting introduced to this chapter, yeah, it sounds like a fun thing to read about. As it would make could you potentially you have to read it in chronological order? Could you jump around?
Okay, good question. Because so there's an app that I like called the Zohar Reader, and it's
Mm.
free and it's really good on iPad or larger tablet in particular.
I have an iPad.
And what it will do is it gives you, because the Zohar is enormous. There is a portion of the Zohar for you to read each week, with a couple of
Oh, wow.
exceptions. So it'll the app will tell me this is the portion that you know you need to read this week, and then you know you can read that, but there's a lot to it. And what
What
you're
is it
Mm.
supposed to
called?
do when you read it, you're supposed to like scan the Hebrew letters with your eyes first, and
Mhm.
then read the translation. If I didn't do that, it would go a lot faster, but I do actually scan the Hebrew.
What'd you say it's called the Zohar Reader?
Zohar, yeah, it's called the Zohar Reader.
Okay.
A good resource.
And
Yeah.
it's huge. Like, just don't get discouraged if you're like, yeah, I read a bunch of Zohar and I'm like 0.001% complete.
Mhm. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we got to do this today.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
me too.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is anyone who is into ceremonial magic stuff should recognize a whole bunch of stuff in here and go, oh yeah, that's where that came from. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I thought it would be a good chapter, even if it is dense and like complex, and a little arguably boring, but not really. I mean, it's just a lot of information. It's not like boring, but
No.
then I'm not trying to attract the crowd that would think this is boring. So that's not what book club is about. So
Well, speaking of book club, don't forget to mention your offering about your book club membership.
oh yeah, yeah. So my first of all, I have one new member. I forget her name, but I made a post who signed up to be a level 2 member. So level 1 members. So the live streams are obviously public for everyone right now. And then level 1 members get access to all the recordings, and a bunch of other just like videos that I have that are for members only. And then level 2 members get all of that, as well as you get a personalized, a custom-made bookmark, Pixie Dust and Spirit Alchemy bookmark and sticker mailed to you. And my newest member has not emailed me to get hers.
It's actually Caroline Bertrand. Y6X.
Yeah. So Caroline, if you're watching this right now, email me. If not, I'll try to at you again and see if I can get your attention. But thank you for choosing to be joining as a level 2 member. Some of the membership things are still a work in progress. I've been kind of taking a break from everything this last month, but coming back, kind of with fresh ideas as the year unfolds. So stay tuned. We will keep doing book club as we do for now. I don't know. We'll see if we get through all the chapters on this book, but
I don't think
it's
so.
a lot of chapters.
I think we should just go with what's calling out to us and move on to the next book. That's what I say. Because I lived in this book so long, I might as well just pay rent at this point.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Okay. I mean, I'm not deep. I'm not attached to the idea of doing every chapter in this book. Some of them I don't want to do, frankly, because they just don't interest me. So stay tuned, guys. Book club will continue, but we will figure out if we're doing this book or another book. So it sounds like maybe majority rules is that we will move on to another book soon. Maybe we can always come back to this book, but
Yeah.
but we've done several months and several weeks on this book specifically, and all of those recording live streams are on my channel if you want to watch them. Fryer has been here for the last few, and then most of the rest of them were covered by Advanced Trance and I. And so stay tuned. I'll make a decision soon on what book. I mean, I got a whole lot of books that I would love to do for book club, so I think there is no end ever. So I think it's maybe time to switch it up. It's a new year. We should do something fresh. This was, I wanted to do this chapter. We were already in it in the holidays, but I like the idea of switching it up because, mainly P-Halls. Yeah.
In the chat, Lo-I Divine said it's harsh to start Qabbalah with Zohar, and I agree. The books of Ar Chaim Lutzato are easier for beginners.
I don't know that. I'm not familiar with that name.
I have a book called Practical Qabbalah by Rabbi Leibel Wolf, and it's a lot easier to digest. For sure. Anyway, so thus concludes Kabbalistic moment.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, if you tuned in at all, whoever joined the chat today or the live, Loy Divine, thank you for being here and being so active in the chat. Quantum Jax, thank you for your presence. It is much appreciated, and your comments in the beginning. And I think that was it for today. So, and anyone else that tuned in and didn't join the chat, thank you for being here. Give this video a thumbs up and maybe check out some of the other book clubs. And stay tuned for what is next with book club, because definitely going to be, I don't know, switching things up maybe a little bit here. So we'll do what we want, but
do what I want.
Yeah, do what I want. All right, but thank you guys, and thank you Advanced Trance and Fryer as always. So until next time, guys. Of course, yeah.